sure what I'm able to bring. It's what all these very brave ladies tell me.
An unanticipated clash inside the palace's most secure rooms has shocked the royal circle. The British royal family is currently embroiled in one of its biggest historical crises. Princess Anne, who is admired for her strict adherence to tradition and discipline, is said to have delivered a beautiful message for Queen Camilla. She will not participate in the coronation of Prince William. And every time you get such headlines, I feel like you're losing people. Everyone understands that there is a very important and urgent message. The forceful and unyielding proclamation has sparked rumors of competition and subdued opposition behind shut doors. Tensions are growing, alliances are changing, and the future of suddenly the monarchy is unsure. What was the real cause of this tragic impasse? The quiet rift. For a family based on centuries of ritual, refined looks, and unbreakable custom, this was the one occasion for which nobody was really ready. The monarchy has endured public indignation, wars, scandals, and abdications. It takes pride in hierarchy, order, and knowing exactly who is where at all times. The crown starts to move from one head to the next. However, as the future of Prince William's position on the throne became more apparent, an unexpected event took place behind the palace doors. What ought to have been a smooth transition and a unified front supporting the succeeding monarch gradually changed tense. Tense, yet not boisterous or dramatic. The type of tension concealed in stillness, in lengthy dining table stares, in gatherings that become shorter, with names subtly omitted from guest lists. Next came the action that even seasoned royal observers were taken aback. Princess Anne, renowned for her iron discipline and a lifelong commitment to duty, accomplished something that none could have expected. She did not hold a press conference. She avoided confronting people in public. She didn't even speak out. Rather, her calm, precise actions had an instant effect. Consort of the Queen Camilla was no longer involved in the initial preparations for the coronation. Initially, it appeared impossible. It was undoubtedly a scheduling problem, a straightforward mistake. However, as weeks passed, the pattern became indisputable. Meetings for high-level strategy were being held. They were circulating confidential documents. Important choices regarding ceremony, symbolism, and construction were being produced, and there was not a single mention of Camilla. Those nearest to the process observed how well it was managed. There was no mayhem, no obvious uprising. William's most reliable advisors acted swiftly, almost reflexively, as though the guidance had previously decided upon. A close-knit inner circle shared documents. Discussions were kept to a minimum. Without her, the planning went on. The way she discovered it was even more startling. There was no polite explanation or formal discussion. Rather, her own employees started asking questions. How come she hadn't noticed a specific memo? Why had a significant planning outline completely avoided her office? Her team initially believed it was a mistake in administration. However, the truth was revealed when subsequent calls remained unanswered. This was deliberate. According to reports, the emotional impact was severe inside Clarence's home. Camilla had worked for years to repair her reputation, earning her place next to the king and gradually gaining respect inside the public eye as well as the institution. She thought she had at last solidified her whereabouts. Suddenly, she was being pushed out of the most significant change in the future of the monarchy. However, in keeping with royal tradition, there was no public response, no grievance, and no journalistic correction. Within the royal walls, there was a dense quiet that expressed everything. Seldom is exclusion unintentional, it's strategic. According to several insiders, Anne acted only to keep William safe. They contend that protecting the future monarch from lingering tensions was required. Distraction could be avoided by maintaining a restricted focus. Even if it was well crafted, that unity was more significant than injured sentiments. Others noticed something deeper, a conflict about power rather than people, who shapes the next section of the monarchy, over the legacy, excessive influence, regarding who actually defines what the crown will stand for in contemporary society. Keeping a tight eye, Regardless of the real motivation, one thing cannot be neglected: the mood changed. In the absence of a speech or conflict, a border was sketched. Once at the center, Camilla was now outside the room where the future decisions were being made. Additionally, when boundaries are established in royal history, they are seldom removed without repercussions. What, therefore, caused Princess Anne to adopt such a thoughtful stance? Was this devotion to William the outcome of years of silence? Is the burden finally getting too much? And what is the actual depth of this divide? To find out, keep watching. The monarchy is in danger because of the secret conflict between Anne and Camilla. From Prince William's birth until Prince Harry's marriage, she has performed royal tasks for decades. For she has served the royal family for decades with a dedication that verges on military accuracy. No drama, no, there's no reason to applaud theatrics. The crown, in her opinion, is not a stage, but a duty, and the tremor is felt when someone like Anne even slightly changes her posture above the walls of the palace. However, underlying her calm demeanor, a subtle tension has been constructing for many years, and Camilla is standing in the middle of it. Anne's position was evident as soon as King Charles and Camilla returned to public life together. Courteous, accurate, and aloof, she complied with all formal requirements, but nothing more. There were no friendly public interactions, no joint charity launches, and no obvious connection beyond what demands for rank. While Camilla's presence was increasingly accepted by other senior royals, Anne kept her distance. It was faint but clearly noticeable. This rivalry was never the goal of temperance. It had to do with order. Anne has consistently felt that a position in the monarchy is gradually acquired with consistent service and selflessness. She believes that because everyone is aware of their limitations, the institution endures. Camilla's transition from public time and meticulous image restoration may have changed the debate surrounding Queen Consort, but Anne never showed up. Convinced that hierarchy can only be rewritten through transformation, an insider once recounted a peaceful Balmoral evening, where Anne said to a loyal assistant after an engagement that while some people saw duty as a burden, others as a piece of equipment. She never explained what she meant. She didn't have to, when the balance appeared to change when Charles took the throne. In internal conversations, Camilla's voice became more assured. She seemed to be more involved in the preparation of the ceremony. There was a greater presence during public activities, according to observers. For some, it appeared to be a logical progression into her position. It might have appeared to Anne as expanding beyond it. Behind closed doors, there was apparently friction. At several prominent states' function, palace employees observed instances of minor adjustments. Witnesses at a diplomatic reception assert when Camilla moved to start a discussion with a visiting dignitary, Anne easily intervened, refocusing the conversation and taking back the ceremonial emphasis. There were not any loud voices, merely a strong, deliberate, controlled adjustment. In Anne's thoughts, this wasn't a personal matter. It served as protection. According to reports, Anne's worries increased as Camilla's influence appeared to grow, deepened. She started having private talks with Prince William, discussing topics other than personality, framework. She cautioned that the monarchy depends on precision and clarity, where power starts and stops. If roles get hazy, stability deteriorates, and William, who was already managing a contemporary monarchy under close public scrutiny, could not afford ambiguity in his own ranks. According to sources, such discussions signaled a modest shift. Camilla's participation in upcoming planning, including delicate ceremonial conversations, seemed to narrow, not dramatically, but conspicuously in public. It wasn't revenge, it was containment. As usual, Anne opted for a quiet show. However, what Anne expected, William might have made a direct confrontation. Those close to the Prince of Wales claim that just a few weeks ago, a private William and Camilla's meeting completely changed the mood. I've witnessed instances like addiction, homelessness, and mental illness. In that private conversation, William allegedly described strict expectations regarding roles and boundaries in the future. According to insiders, The tone was kind but clearly determined. The answer he got wasn't what he anticipated. So did the royal family have an unspoken rift? Let's look more closely. Take a look. The secret battle that took place behind the palace gates. For several months, the conflict between only modest signs of Prince William and Queen Camilla's growth have been apparent. An excessively long pause, a quick look held a moment too long, a measured, courteous interaction. In public, everything seems to be smooth. Traditions were followed, hands were shaken, and smiles were shared. But the balance was shifting behind the palace walls. The tipping point occurred in a private meeting at Clarence House, designed to reduce hostilities prior to the full development of the next phase of the monarchy. Rather, it demonstrated the extent of the disparity. William had always maintained a disciplined demeanor. As the Prince of Wales, he saw the importance of timing and poise. Rarely did he express frustration, but when he made plans for the future when the coronation appeared, he started to feel uneasy. The role of Camilla, once encouraging, well-defined, and appeared to be growing. She went to more important conversations. In ceremonial things, her voice had authority, and William sensed that the past invading the room meant for the future. This was no longer a matter of sentiment. It has to do with legacy. He asked for the meeting as the future monarch, not as a stepson. According to those near the palace, he talked calmly and with deliberate word choice. He requested room to mold his rule, determine its appearance, and specify its meaning. He admitted Camilla's role and did not contest her title, but made it apparent that some choices, particularly those related to he and his advisors, should be in charge of his coronation. No loud shouts, no acerbic accusations, just a strong request to leave the inner planning circle. And so, behind the historic walls of the palace, the tension surrounding the future of the monarchy continues to grow. Princess Anne's quiet but powerful move has raised serious questions about loyalty, influence, and who truly holds control as Prince William prepares for the throne. Was this simply a decision made to protect the stability of the crown, or the beginning of a deeper divide within the royal family? For now, the palace remains silent. But as history has shown time and time again, secrets inside the royal family rarely stay hidden forever.